All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the ESL Pro League Finals. NRG versus NiP is our next matchup here. NiP have been on fire so far in this tournament, and NRG, well, not so much. Moses?
Yeah, they were the, you look at that group and you're like, one of these is not like the other, and that was kind of NRG. So yeah, they are definitely underdogs in every single match they've played in. And yeah, another tall task here, especially considering this is on cash, which yeah, NRG, this is a map they're comfortable on in the North American region, but NiP as well. This when they first started this new kind of a lineup with Thread as the coach and everything, not the one with Michael Ailey, but this, I mean, cash was such a good map for them. They went a while before even being defeated on this map, so they're going to be very, very comfortable on it as well. And that doesn't bode too well for me. The one stumbling block I see, the one thing that NiP has to watch out for is, they just were at Epicenter. We're in the group stage where, another round robin tournament, they lost out on rounds. And then you have to look over at SK just winning against FaZe 16-2 and say NiP needs they need every round they can get. It's no longer just enough to win. They do have to just pile on these rounds, get that round differential in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will be going over to cash here. And we should be getting started in just a moment. I believe they've already done the knife round and whatnot, so just waiting for the teams to ready themselves up. And I believe I see it on the screen there now with the players. It looks like we are going live with it, Moses. So it is time to jump into this one and see who will come out on top. Will the Ninjas continue to plow through this group stage, or will NRG have a bit of an upset for us?
Yeah.
Not likely.
Yeah, no, not. I wouldn't put good probability on it at all. I mean, this is the big question. I'm glad they brought up someone like Peter, because especially on cash, when we've seen NRG play this in the North American region, you're going to see on the T side, Peter's very frequently going to be boosted up on those boxes in middle. They're going to give him ample time to find a pick with his AWP there, and hasn't had too much success with it in this tournament. So this game has got to go a lot better for him. All
right, well, let's get into it now. For NiP early on here, they're just going to send their players directly into A main. No funneling around with mid in the early portion of this one. Makalele even going over to Squeaky, so it's going to be very direct. Early smokes also tossed out here too, and as they move forward, Fuckley, a quick swing and a clothesline against Freiburg to be able to take him down. He'll look for more, but Tabs is going to come in for support. Forrest and Get Right pick up two for themselves there, and Tabs with another one tap. He's rounded out quite a few this time, but nonetheless, NiP are out on the site here. They're trying to work with the best of it. Xist will wait in this little bit of a cubby here for Get Right to be able to group up with them back from A main and join up, but as they try to move themselves in, there's still so much more to take down, and with the guys from NRG having bomb control, this is certainly going to be a tough task to accomplish here, and NRG certainly hold all the cards at this point.
Yeah, and it's just so tough at this range. The USPs against Glocks, it doesn't work out whatsoever. Legia just wrecks it. So that is the opening pistol round for NRG, at least a good start. And I have been told, because I was incorrect, that rounds mean nothing in this round robin. So scratch everything I just said to start this match out with, except for maybe the actual tactical opinions of NRG.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, it happens.
Good way to start off the cast.
Yeah, not bad. It's it's been a bumpy road for everyone involved.
A rainy road today, it seems as well.
Yeah, another monsoon. We had it last night, a nice thunderstorm. Today we just got poured on again, so that's always fun. Loving the weather.
So now, of course, with NiP dropping the pistol, going into the second round, it is just going to be pistol upgrades along with armor. Get Right picking up the scout. Makalele trying to play around a little bit there with the boost up spot, but he's already been dropped down to 24 HP, so not starting off the best way. I think he spots the player by white box before unpeaking there a moment ago, so they know there is the slight presence there. NRG, though, not doing anything super out of the ordinary, just spreading their players across the map and waiting for the eventual hit to come in from NiP, which at the moment seems to be leaning over here into the B halls.
Yeah, very, very slow paced. I mean, it's going to be the scout, it's going to be the Deagles of Michael Ailey and Freiburg. They want to open things up. They only have one smoke to work with on 4, so ideally you want to save that for later on in the round. If they can find a pick, then that smoke can, at least block off one choke point to help them get further into the sites, but they're hoping that this scout, these Deagle buys, those investments were going to pay off for them eventually. And Michael Ailey being brought down pretty low already to 24. It's limited in the kind of aggression that he can really do with that Deagle.
Limited on time here. They're going to have to make a move soon, and Makalele's health just continues to get chucked down, now sitting at 11. Finally here, they will have to make a move into this B site, as NRG seem to still have quite a few players on waiting for the eventual hit.
That aggression from Michael Ailey over towards A, though, has actually pulled Tapson away, so there's only 2 defenders here. The rotation's going to be quick. This hit has got to come in. They've got to find a kill. Peter is just staying alive so well, down to 1 HP. There's God-B with the kill. Still haven't dealt with Peter, but he may have just had a huge impact on this round merely by staying alive for so long.
And now the rest of the guys from NRG continue to shuffle in and try to stop this hit from happening. And NiP do manage to pick up quite a few kills, actually. They bring this into their favor, but Legia bouncing it back now. He's going to be able to take down Forrest. Legia finding a second, and Fugley picks up the final kill. So with that, NRG will be able to hold control of things. Plenty of time, of course, for that defuse. Bit of a costly round at the end of the day, but they still pick it up.
Yeah, costly and with the plant, but I mean, the one benefit is because of the investment that round from NiP, they're not going to be buying in the third round even with the plant. They'll have to wait until the fourth. So NRG, another round now, which should be a little bit easier against, you know, some Glocks, maybe some P250s. But for the most part, they should be able to build up some bank with the bonus money. It's just, you know, they're definitely feeling it that they're going to have to rebuy 3 weapons here.
Yeah. So this takes us into the next round here for the guys on NiP, and of course we do still see that one rifle being picked up there that will go into Forest's hands currently.
I like this actually. This is cool. I like it when teams do that. I mean, it's a bit risky, but they're only really risking one player's economy. It's only Exist brought down to 700, and Forest obviously investing into the armor. But you know, giving a chance for a player like Forest to have that AK-47 could catch someone from NRG off guard, being overly aggressive. They can be the player who gets that bonus money by pushing forward against unarmored Glocks, and they're going to run into an AK-47. So it's going to be interesting to see if Forest can find anything. Unfortunately, that smoke is going to delay him just a little bit too long for his liking, so he backs off to find a new location to probe.
And the rest of NiP here, too, moving away from those B halls, moving over now just into the A main area for the most part here, but because of how passive they've been of it, they've allowed NRG to sort of creep in there, too, so Fugly holds a rather aggressive position should we decide to see NiP move inside of here, which is looking likely from the current state of things now. They still have actually kept, I believe it's Freiburg way over there in the sunroom, too, so we'll see how that unfolds as the time continues to tick down here, and NiP have yet to make a decision, but now leaning back over towards the other side of the map again. And more than likely, considering we saw Forest getting up close to the vents here with basically no challenge at all, they are definitely going to commit to this site since he has easy access to it. And walking in, there we go. This is where this AK is going to come into play. Gabi did manage to pick up 1 kill, but now we're going to see the guys from NiP trading out 2 more. Forest and Exist find those kills, and now the site is theirs.
Yeah, this AK-47 has done its job. It's got the opening kill. It allows them to get the bomb plant. There's even an M4 salvage. Granted, it's on Freiburg, who's only got 4 HP, but it will have to be a retake for the NRG guys. They do have 3 kits, a couple flashbangs as well, so NiP is going to have to set up with some nice off angles. They're going to have very good trading. And Freiburg here out in the open, getting a little bit blinded, doesn't have the health to win that fight. So it's all on Forest. Now he gets 1. Going over towards headshot, but he can't find Legia. It's all down to Get Right. And he's just brought too low, nowhere to go. But again, 3 rebuys are going to be forced on the NRG side. The bomb plan for the extra money. NiP is sitting in a pretty strong position, all things considered, going into this 4th round.
And the buys themselves from NRG now are going to be very, very limited in certain regards here. NiP, if they manage to strike them down after this round, then, well, they're already going to have full control of it. As you can see, with all these rebuys coming in from NRG, it's left them with very little money to work with here. Peter is going to be able to get that op-ed armor buy sitting behind it. Gabi, thankfully, will still be able to get himself the M4 and all of his utility in 1-op. But for the players that had to donate and help out a little bit, you've got, looking at like Fugly there, only a smoke and a flashbang for him. In certain respects, it's very limited, and pretty much everybody's already out of cash here if NiP take this round.
Yeah, now the question becomes, do they want to open up pretty aggressive like we saw Optic do to great effect in the last match, or are they going to start things out slow? Nice pop flash, so NRG wants to be the aggressors. They want to set the tone. They've lost 1 player. It's a good trade for NiP, and now Michael has cut off the retreat of Legia, but it won't even matter because he falls to the Oppa Forest as well. That's 2 kills for him. And NiP, they can continue to press the issue if they want. But with this much time left on the clock and a man advantage, they may just fall back, especially now that so much utility is being used. And like you said, because of the low economy, that's virtually all NRG has. They have 1 minute and 15 seconds with only a smoke and a Molotov.
The rest of NiP now just shifting over to the other side of the map. Currently the bomb even working its way over into the B tunnels. We have seen the rotation from Peter to move a little bit closer to that site as he slowly puts his position in his CT main here to watch for an eventual hit, but everybody else is still fully committed back over towards A. Tops him way back in quad, and Gabi just now starting to lurk back down over towards highway to see if there's anything going on in mid, which is not going to spot on his own regard there. Broken vents is seen, and he may find himself a bit of a confrontation with Get Right. Peter's still waiting for it, though, and he's starting to get a bit antsy. Moves in, looks for the checkers player, and he's actually going to find that. He'll get smoked off following it. Flashbang doesn't really let him do too much in terms of movement, so the NiP guys will still get out into the site, but now they're working at an even advantage, a 3-on-3 here, and Gabi's already starting to retake from vents.
Yeah, and Force has switched over to the AK-47. He's going to be looking for a flank. With Gabi already down, the timing of this could be awkward. Freiburg and Michael could get caught off guard since Force isn't here watching this. The rest of the retake, Peter and Tapson being very patient, watching for a flank of their own, a backstab, and there it is. Gabi pounces. That was Forrest who gets caught a little bit off guard, and he's going to lose that battle as well. Gabi having huge impact on Michael. This is such an awkward position. Almost nothing you can do. He finds that, but Peter dropping down with the op. He's going to end it. NRG out to a very quick lead. They're going to go up 4-0.
Peter, good decision-making from in there, too, sort of at the mid-round portion. He went back over to the site and was hiding outside, waiting for just a normal push inside, but he gets a bit more curious, decides to push in, and because of that, he's able to catch that first player from NiP pushing in from checkers, acts as the early warning signal, thins out the numbers a little bit, and allows, of course, for Gabi to jump back into the vents there, push back in, and he's really the linchpin from that point forward of stopping NiP from holding onto the site in the
another plant, so another buy from NiP. And the interesting thing is to watch, keep an eye on the mini-map when you notice exactly how NiP is going to play this half out, because they're putting players in positions where they can watch different flanks and hold different portions of map control so that they can actually rotate to the other side of the map. So now we see some quick mid control from NiP. Exist is going to get out. He's the only one for the moment until Get Right joins him. And together they'll take control. They've got Peter to contend with, though, and there it is. A nice shot from Peter. So looking on point for him early on in these first 5 rounds.
Rest of NiP now once again knock down a player here to Exist. He's going to slowly start to inch around the corner to see if he can find anything up on highway, but there is nothing to be seen there. Once again, they've been given unrestricted access to the A main area. Fugly's pushed inside, and that's Legia. That is going to hide over here just around the toxic area, waiting to see if eventually the NiP roster is going to push up, but that doesn't seem to be happening for the most part. They've only been utilizing the vents here in mid. Exist tries to drop down, but he's got no support system set up at all, so Peter just going to be able to net up another kill off of that one, and once again now they'll have to try to push themselves into mid and go for sort of a pseudo A take.
Really good play. Peter gets that kill, but really good play by him and Gabi working together to clear out checkers. They both move forward to do it at the same time. So you can imagine, oh, nice shot for us. Good reactions. He's got Tabson coming up on truck, but he's going to try and make his way into the site. He's not expecting that. Fugly with the advanced position and lockers. He's going to get dropped, but it's a 2-on-3. Tabson and Peter are both going to be here. So this smoke might be able to block off Peter. They can isolate Tabson, but he's not being overly aggressive into the bomb site. So a chance, but there it is. Over the smoke or jumping on top of the boxes. Tabson's able to find that one.
Bombs down up on top of the big red box, too, so this is basically an impossible scenario for friberg here. He can't even retrieve it from down below. Everybody on NRG is actually repositioning, though. Nobody really managed to catch that, so he's able to pick it up, drop back down to the site, and find the plant. Somehow friberg makes it work, and now trying to clutch the 1v3. A little bit of a dip out there, finds some damage on the Peter, bringing him down to about half of his health. The second peak doesn't net much, and he's not watching the left side either, so finally when he does move in to check it, Peter is going to finish the job, take him down, and that'll be a 5th round for NRG going up onto the board. A good start indeed, and we'll have to see if they can keep it consistent.
Yeah, smart from NRG there in the 3-on-1, not being too aggressive, not giving friberg any 1-on-1s, just with the full timer of that of the bomb. They're just letting Peter watch both angles of that red box and let friberg sweat it out and try and decide where he's got to peek, where he's got to take his next fight. Now we see a tactical pause from NiP because they've been shut down in these first 5 rounds, and they've pretty much bought in some fashion every single time. And I mean, look at all these plants. 4 plants, 4 diffuses. So NiP's getting into the site. They're having success. They're bringing this. There's been a lot of 3-on-3s. So, I mean, NRG's been doing a great job, obviously, of the retakes, of just, finishing out these late round situations. And that's probably what NiP is discussing right now, because they're having success in the early and mid stages of the rounds, getting into the site, getting the bomb planted. But from there, they need to figure out what they need to do to close those out.
Well, for the most part here, too, NRG is almost always getting the early read as far as where NiP has taken their strat towards. So good rotations is a really key thing that we are seeing missing from quite a few teams earlier on. And just over the course of history when we see this map played, a lot of that just boxes teams out and forces these saves simply because they have no other choice. But for the most part, NRG's been pretty good at that so far.
Yeah, tough part too now is for a while there, NiP had the economy of NRG very, very low. It's still not a great economy, but I don't think it's in danger of being reset after just 1 round win. The benefit is that with the full losing bonus with all these plants, NiP have had pretty strong buys in every single round. They just haven't been able to actually put a round in their favor yet.
NiP this time very direct, not splitting it up and not sending anyone over to watch for the B Halls push. Everybody just outside of A main. It looks like they're just going to try to explode it onto this site, to be completely honest. They've already got the smokes moving into the bomb site now, trailing in as we can see. 2 players here from the side of NRG watching out for it, and there's 2 more back over in mid, but all of a sudden they're going towards mid instead. 3 of them go over the boost spot, and there's one of them sneaking back in. That's Get Right, trying to lurk in and cut these guys off at highway. Legia finding 1 kill, but now friberg, Exist, and Get Right responding with their own frags. It isolates Fugly into the back quad corner, and in the meantime, Gabi doesn't even know what hit his team. All of a sudden, he's got to rotate from B. Fugly doing a good job of keeping himself quiet, but now he's been revealed. They know he's here. He picks up that first kill, but all of a sudden, a second player leaping over. He's only got 4 bullets left. friberg's going to be able to move in, finish the job, and Gabi isolated in the 1v3. He'll be forced to save.
A very nice tactic from NiP, throwing the A execution smokes, just getting Get Right into them and then transitioning back into a mid boost. Catches them off guard. Even when 1 kill goes out for NRG towards mid, they kind of both take their eyes away. Peter was there as well in support, and they both look away. I believe it was the Gia who gets that opening kill, and they both kind of look up highway, and that's when they get hit from behind. So tricky tactic from NiP coming out to get them their first round, and yeah, because of that money situation, Gabi does have to save. And this is good because, I mean, you can see he only has $350, so the fact that he's saving his gun, it means that, with the money coming up, they might be able to force some kind of a buy with the drop to M4, a FAMAS, and some upgraded pistols, but they'll be able to buy around this if they choose to, because they more than likely won't want to give up the economy control just after losing 1 round.
So the pause works for now, and NiP managed to bust out a strat here that works very well against NRG. Bring it down to just one player left alive at the end of it, and now the decision before them as to whether they should buy into this one or just save up. Light investments seem to be the story right now, and that seems to be, it's going to be the consistent tale. No one else really picks up anything. It's just going to be that single rifle that was saved, then everybody else picked P250s and smoke and a couple flashbangs. I
think part of this is Gabi saying, we want that op in Peter's hands. If we're going to win, we need to have that AWP. So next round, he'll be able to grab that. More than likely, Armor and Get Right catches 2 off guard. That's Peter down. That's Gabi brought very low. And that's the M4 as well. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to do anything as Gabi jumping around the smoke is trying to find anything, any advantage he can. But Get Right's going to get the kill in the end. That's Legia. So Gabi's still alive here, still taking a lot of damage somehow. The pop flashes are working, and there it finally is. The trio for Get Right, and they have control of the B bomb site.
This rifle just continues to get handed off player to player, but it's not going to have any effectiveness at all here. Forest and Exist, they got those final 2 kills, a nice 3K on the round for Get Right, and NRG, of course, saving off of that last one. They will be able to take this right into the next buy, where they have that op that you were mentioning before, tabs and Fugly with rifles. The only real big downgrade we see is Gabi going to the SMG, and he gets extra utility because of that.
So now we see if NiP can string 3 together. That round was a little bit easier with mostly pistols, but now it's the second time going up against all these rifles. There's a little bit less utility. It is a little bit beat up. Peter has his AWP though, so that's always a risk. He's going to be utilizing that in checkers. He's going to have 3 people coming towards him. With that AWP behind the checker boxes, going to try and stay alive. And he did this earlier to good effect, staying alive as long as possible. He's got Gabi supporting him in the site as well, but that's a missed shot. That's not good. He does fall. Good entry from Freiburg, a good opening. And now it looks like NiP again going to just pick up the pace. At least this 3-man squadron going to apply a little bit more pressure onto B.
NiP slowly wrapping around it here too. They still have to bring the bomb inside along with Forrest, but that'll do that job in just a second here. Gabi sitting up on top of this ball where he has a little bit of an angle to look through here through the smokes.
And we've seen him do this a lot. This is, I mean, as a B-Anchor player, I mean, I know from the online leagues, he was doing that to very good effect. So if they know that, it's a good find from Legia, clearing out the vents.
He seems to be one of the more consistent players here too, and knocking out members of NiP in the early round state. I think he's leading for frags too at the moment for NRG, so jump on him. But unfortunately in that time, he ends up taking a lot of damage from that attempt to grab a kill. Brings himself down to 4 HP, and NiP are still on the edge of this B bomb site, but now it's Gabi's turn. He's going to find a first kill, loses 80% of his health pool, but he's still going to be able to chain together another one. Tabson swings in for the third. Forrest is the last one alive, but Tabson's going to punish again, and with that, NRG respawn. They pick up a 6th.
All things considered, I mean, Freiburg getting the opening kill, that seemed like a very weak hit on that B bomb site. They get the first kill, and then they start pressuring it, but they don't actually commit. And then they just kind of slowly all come back and go for a hit, 20 seconds later into the round. And by that point, NRG's all rotated over. Even during the execution, I mean, Forrest backs off, doesn't help him get into the site just to watch the flank pretty early on. So they actually only send 2 members of NiP to be aggressive to try and take it. And Gabi handled that perfectly.
Makalele going for the boost up on Truck there to try and see if he can catch a white box player. I don't believe anybody from NRG. Actually, no, it looks like Legia maybe looking towards that in a moment here. He's not decided to go for the peek yet, but the timing works out so badly for Makalele. As soon as he unboosts with his teammate there, we actually do see him going for the full commitment to it. So they're just not going to be able to find the kill this time around, and the rest of NiP are playing to the usual T-side default.
Just a basic setup for NiP, watching for pushes everywhere across the map. Fugly's actually indoor. He's been pretty aggressive over towards this A bomb, so we've seen him a number of times over in lockers, and it looks like he wants to continue that aggression, and he might meet up with Exist. Yeah, there it is. It's spotted out. Fugly takes a little bit of damage, but no one's really going to pursue that fight, dedicate themselves to it. They're going to let Fugly just fall away. So information gained by both teams. 50 seconds left on the clock. Still a good amount of utility on the NiP side. They can still do whatever they want, and right now some utility being thrown over mid. Looks like Freiburg's going to go out all on his lonesome. The wall of smokes is set up, so he's relatively safe with that flashbang as well. Where does he go from here?
Snap aim over there to try to catch the player at white box, but now Legia, he's pushed through, grabs the first pickup there, and all of a sudden all the mid pressure's gone. The rest of it's just going to be coming in through Squeaky and AMA, but Forrest opens up the way, picks up the first kill against Tabson, and now more are on their way into this site. Also rotating in from the CT side, it's going to be Fugly pushing out. I think it's 1, 2, 3 kills, and now it's just Makalele stuck back over here inside of Squeaky. Not much that he can do, but at the very least, catches Gabi out in the open, back over here by the forklift angle, hunting for anything else he can get, but with only 10 seconds on the clock, he would need to make a move now. It's not looking like it's going to happen, and in a few seconds here, he's going to push himself out, close the door, fall away for the save, but he's actually going to get chased. That smoke saves him a little bit to miss no scope. What is going on? Legia takes him down.
That's so smart from Legia. He just pauses, doesn't even shoot for 2 seconds. He knows they're going to get him after the timer no matter what, so look at the economy punish on that. Makalele only has $250. That's brutal, but a heads-up play from Legia. And this, I mean, this defense from NRG is extremely proactive right now. Getting the first kill, finding it in mid. I mean, they know the pressure's coming, and instead of waiting to see what exactly they're going to be facing, I mean, they just do a pop flash and they go chase it down, and they get one kill in middle, they get Freiburg in mid, and then everyone's rotating over towards the A bomb site. Everyone's there before NIP's really hitting the site. There's no actual aggression onto the bomb site from NIP. It's a couple rounds in a row that's happened.
Big risk taken from Legia and waiting down the timer, but it ends up paying off in huge dividends. And now NIP, not much choice here with this very minimalist buy. They're just going to poke and prod early on here into the A bomb site. More players are grouping up in just a second here too, as we see they've got, I believe it's Exist joined by another teammate, getting ready to go for the boost up in mid, but once the pistol aim ends up being very, very accurate here, they're going to have trouble taking down the two players that have been consistently set up from NRG here. The mid pressure, been very good at holding it off for the most part, and once again, it's going to be Leggy and Tabson trying to stop NIP from getting control of this, and then obviously, of course, leading them up to the A bomb. So the Molotov will push one of these guys back. I don't think they've seen the second player there in that little cubby yet, but still, ultimately, they're going to need to be the ones to find these big kills here if they want to have any hope of making progress in this round.
Actually, Force is going to have a great opportunity here, and he does get it. That's going to open up the A-bomb site a little bit. Fugly's playing a retake, so the plant is going to go down, and Force now with an AK-47. This could be dangerous. He can get just one kill. There it is. And he can, if he can hold his position off, this is a critical spot. Force, he could have massive impact here for NIP.
Moore is going to be able to try and take down some more kills here in a second, but unfortunately, Gabi, very smart about the way he proceeds on that one. Waits for the missed opportunity, and now he's going to be able to catch him moving in the open. Freiburg, though, has gone unnoticed back over here in the mid-garage. He's going to slowly push up, but unfortunately, he's only got a Glock, and even when he chooses to strike, it's at long range. Won't play out. Makalele is also taken down rather quickly, so another retake rolls in from NRG, and they pick up an 8th round, a very strong lead against NIP at this point now. And they're working on recovering that, but if this doesn't happen soon, NRG will have a very strong lead coming off of this first half.
Yeah, Gabi plays that so smart. Knowing he has the advantage of cover, just shoulder peeking until Forrest starts taking some shots. And then the wide peek gives them the aim punch immediately. So back onto the AK-47s, but again, you can see, I mean, they have to drop one over to Michael. He just doesn't have the money to buy one of his own. So it goes back to that punish after the timer ran out. 8-2, a surprising scoreline to open up cash here. NRG on the CT side, and Legia is playing so well, 13-4.
And now Legia once again waiting for the challenge at mid, which actually seems like it's going to come at a large dividend this time from NIP. They're getting ready to explode out. He should have spotted that first player. If he didn't, he saw it now, and he's certainly going to expect it. So falls back, wraps around the corner, and is going to head towards Z instead. Now, where exactly NIP will take this to has not yet been revealed, as they've been rather varied about the way that they've been playing towards mid. For the most part, they've gone for vents, but there's also been quite a few key rounds where they have decided to push up towards white box and go on for highway control too. But this time, as you can see now from the minimap, it's certainly going to turn itself into a B hit, and that again puts the pressure on the Gabi and Peter to hold off the storm.
Yeah, but they need to be assertive this time. They can't just sit back during this execution. They have to actually go and take control of this site. Before, it's been very lackluster, and here comes that hit. Gabi with a single kill, still playing this smartly, gets the Molotov down, disappears in the smoke, and there's Forrest. He's going to find him. And actually, a teammate, I mean, Legia running right through the fire, gets a kill. Forrest again with one. He's being so good for NIP, and a third. There's the assertive nature we needed from Forrest.
Now Tabson trying to push in, but it's a messy spray. Still manages actually to grab Forrest when he peeks back up again, and keep in mind, he's already done this damage to get right, so this round's not over by any stretch of the imagination here. Tabson still going to look for a path back in, continues to rain out the op shots, but Get Rid was given away on that last peek, so he is able to finish off the job as he remains out in the open. Now it just exists. Placing himself back over here in checkers. They're going to have to check that quickly. They move in, but nobody looks towards it. The first kill against Fugly's for free, and now he can just tuck himself away. It's going to have to be Tabson that moves in to challenge him, but Exist has all the advantages in the world. Trying to play it out a little bit, and he does finish the kill. Picks up the round for NIP. They're back on the board now, but still a long way to recover this.
Yeah, I mean, they could not afford to give away that play by Force. 3 kills to open it up and holding off the initial retake attempts from NRG through the smokes. Confusing situation, but he manages it so well. And Exist, knowing he has the timer in his favor, forces Tabson to chase after him in a disadvantaged fight. But again, NRG choosing not to force buy up here. They have a big lead, so deciding to be pretty conservative with their economy. It wouldn't have been the greatest buy, so perhaps making the right decision. They did this earlier in the half, and it turned out very well for them.
Kalela's got to push himself forward here. Try to see if he can catch the players that are hiding out on the main area of the site here, but what they don't realize is that Tabson's going to be up close, but that gets ultimately denied by Freiburg as he does try to push himself in. Peter and Fugly also don't last very long here too. Quick cleanup of the site from NIP, full control for them, and it's not looking likely that Leggy and Gabi are going to have much of an effect on the 5 men still up and running for NIP.
That Gabi might just want to save the armor he has, but it's too late now. He eats a little bit of a nade, so no chance of an easy upgrade for him in the next round. So he's just going to see what he can find, and it's going to be a headshot from Forrest.
Nicely done. Bit of a Kobe there as well. With NiP now on the way back, of course. Still 3 rounds left in the half to see if the NRG guys can bring up anything else, of course. Off of that save now, though, they are going to invest, and they'll have another chance to shut things down. And we can see it on the scoreboard there, too. Tabson, who was a little bit quiet yesterday, in my opinion, and Legia, the main driving forces. Legia actually a bit of a hit-or-miss player, but a lot of it depends on the map. Dust 2 seems to be his main forte, but we've been seeing some good stuff from him on Cash as well throughout the course of the online season.
He's certainly looking good here right now, and actually this is a scary situation of NRG. This is one of the first rounds they've decided to have Gabi alone in the B bomb site. Pressure being on mid with the reverse boost, 2 players over at A, and Gabi's going to get swarmed here. He needs to have a big round. The flash comes out, but it's a little bit too late. He recovers nicely, but he's forced out into the open. Exist is the next one, and he's watching this flank beautifully. He's going to get 1, and he's going to get a second. Huge from him, and that's a 4-on-2, and NRG's, they've got to bail out. They're already calling for the save.
Take happened so quickly, and the players were so mispositioned from NRG. The counter boost there fails miserably, and with that, there's no choice left but for these guys to save. That take is destined to fail. So with that, the NiP guys will be able to push their way into the site, get full control, and NRG, the last 2 here, will have to fall back into squeaky halls and save, and that will be the first pause of the half coming in from NRG as well after this round.
Yeah, NiP started to figure it out a little bit, and at this point they're also abusing, I mean, even with NRG saving for a better economy, I mean, they're abusing the fact that maybe some of the utility isn't there. That was very, fast-paced. It wasn't a rush, but happens very early on, basically a contact push towards B, and then once they get to the breaking point, they just throw the smoke, and Gabi can only get 1. So now NRG's got to decide exactly how they want to adjust, if they want to get a little bit aggressive. That the strike that they were having early on that got them that 8-2 lead, was basically the fact they were getting some opening kills. They were finding some picks before the executes come in, and now NiP seems to have removed that possibility from the NRG defense. They've been doing a little bit more assertive, a little bit bigger groups, just attacking and swarming bomb sites. They're not setting up in defaults. They're not spreading out and allowing those picks to come out.
And also, too, here, unfortunately, the money for NRG is not really sitting in the greatest place, so more than likely, we're not going to see much of an investment into this round for the 3 that didn't save, beyond just upgraded pistols and whatnot to bring them down to around that 2K mark. Everybody from NiP is sitting good, so unless Peter has another big round for himself, and it's been quite a while here. He's had some good pickups, especially within the first, 5 or 6 rounds here, but ever since then, he's kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. Then NiP are looking good to hold a hefty advantage in this one and continue their comeback, possibly up to 7 if they can win both of these final rounds.
Yeah, this is going to have to be, you want to see almost NRG find some way to get Peter a little bit more aggressive on the CT side with the AWP. You want to find that pick, because they had great reads when it was coming down, when they had the man advantage. They were having great reads on where NiP was heading, and it doesn't seem like they're getting the kind of information. Even outside of those picks, one of the big ways that NRG got that lead was knowing what was happening before the actual execute came in. So now that they don't have that information, they're really, really struggling to have the right bomb sites covered in the appropriate way. So that's the thing. The CT side on this map, it can be very tricky. It's all about the information plays that you can do in the mid-rounds. It's all about the different areas where you can push. And NRG, they need to get back into that kind of aggressive play to find the info.
All right, so it looks like we are getting back into it now. Let's take a look and see if NRG's pause will have any effect at all on NiP, who have been rounding this comeback quite nicely. Looking a lot better with their takes. They've been able to adjust against this, and NRG, unfortunately, have just been caught so many unfortunate situations here. They've been trying so many different setups, but it's led to quite a few messed up rounds because of that now. And on this one, though, they're just going to go back to the defaults for the most part. 2 on the A site, 2 fully committed to the B bomb site, and also keeping Legia sort of on the lean back over here. But that's going to be Gabi pushing up very quickly. He finds Get Right, is able to take him down, and well, that'll be the guys from NRG starting off this one in their favor. Yeah,
there's some of that aggression. Didn't expect Gabi to be the one to do it, but around the smoke, catches Get Right off trying to be overly aggressive, punishes that play, and I mean, now the danger is Gabi also had armor, so now they have an AK-47 on their side. They essentially have 3 buys on this NRG team at the moment, so this is sneakily a very dangerous situation for NiP.
And in case anybody else from NiP wants to move in and trade it out, well, they've got Peter here now watching out for the players in Sunroom, and he might just find one of them. He's pushed up nicely, hugs around the corner, however, so we'll see in a moment here, but Freiberg is actually going to get a much better angle against Peter. Peter had no clue he was pushing out from the Sunroom, and with that, he's going to bring him down to just a quarter of his health pool. 26 HP, the rest of NiP sort of poking a little bit here at the A main area just to try and keep the guys from NRG on their toes and not force them to rotate as of yet.
Yeah, but Fugly boosted up with an M4 is so dangerous. They might not expect this. There's a pop flash. Fugly's blind, but no one's out yet. Tapson is rotated over. Legia is going to start cheating. Legia and Tapson only with pistols, but still the strength here is all on Fugly. And if those pistols can provide just enough of a distraction, there's no manpower to check for this. Mike Laley's going to walk out trigger discipline initially. He gets 2. He can't get a 3rd, but it's still a 4-on-2 situation. Exists again with a lot to do, and he's blinded. No idea where to look, and forced with the AWP. I mean, what can he really actually do in this kind of a situation? Not even going to get one with the Tech 9, so NRG steal one away.
Re-establishing their advantage here now, and with an opportunity to push it forward. The last round will come in here. NiP, of course, will reinvest. I believe they got plenty of cash to spread around with the guns, even for players like Forest who are sitting a little bit lower. They should be able to give them the gunpowder that's needed, and even if not, well, Tech 9 with utility is certainly not going to be anything too far gone, but they do manage to get him an AK. So it will be a full wipe for the last round, but now NRG are sitting on a double op setup, which is something we actually didn't really see into this half from them. So now we get to see its effectiveness. Legia being the one to pick up the secondary op here, and of course already challenging more of that pressure that's working its way out towards mid. Tapson finding the first kill, even sticking into the flames to find a second one against Forest. He'll hunt for a 3rd, but that's where he's going to meet his end there. Get Right finally taking him down, certainly thinning the numbers out to bring it into a 4-on-3.
Okay, well, there's Gabi on the flank behind Get Right, so if he doesn't sense this, it's going to be all over. And yeah, it's going to be a free kill for Gabi. Next up is Legia. He's pretty much all alone in the A site, but from checkers with the AWP, I mean, from a quad with the AWP, the double kill comes in, and a surprising half for NRG. They take a 10-5 lead into the second half.
And with that, guys, that is going to close out the first half. A surprising scoreline. NRG lead 10-5. Stick with us, and we'll see if that continues into the second half. Here as more action continues at the ESL Pro League Finals. Yep. All right, welcome back. I know we missed it. We're sorry. But NRG claimed it, and it was actually quite a spectacle to witness there, too. They wasted no time whatsoever, busted straight out towards mid, and also with a quick B hit there, too, rounded back in. Pierre even took a bit of an interesting route, too, going for that bit of a Z split, pushed his way inside of there. Caught, I think, 1 or 2 players from NiP completely unawares to it as they were trying to rotate back in, and just for the most part completely shut it down. So a rather clean pistol round from them, and they get to keep their lead going because of that.
Yeah, that's sick, and now this puts NiP in obviously a very, very difficult spot. I think this is now both pistol rounds lost for them as well. So this time, no armor investment. They do have 4 Deagles and 1 CZ. They've got 3 smokes to slow things down if they need to, if they're feeling too much pressure. But desperation, these Deagles have got to come to play here. And NiP, if they lose this, I mean, they don't really have any more mistakes to give up for the rest of the half. They have to get started hot on those pistol rounds, or on those gun rounds, and never look back. NRG with a commanding lead.
And NRG are just going to be sticking together here, playing it very, very slowly at the beginning of this second round to make sure that things do not go awry, and that they don't lose this advantage that they fought so hard to maintain here. Gabi slowly inching for that mid control. He's going to be able to gain it. And of course, checking highway there too, doesn't find a whole lot, but NiP starting to shift away entirely from that A-bomb site. We've yet to see, of course, if NRG are going to follow through with this into a B hit. That's looking like the case, and if NiP continue on their path over towards the B-bomb site, they may have a chance yet to contest the hit. if they're able to get back into this site and add more pressure in time. Freiberg, though, sitting back over here inside of Checkers, actually gets a nice deagle shot on the Gabi. Knocks out about half of his health with the Molotov there. He's going to burn Freiberg out into the open. Tabson will finish the job, but Get Right, all of a sudden rounding out towards mid there, is going to be able to take down Tabson. Also the deagle shot from Forest. It's not looking good for NRG, and I think they have to call off the B hit. Now they've got to rack back over towards A. That's going to be very easily predictable, though. And look, they're already aware of it. Get Right's well on his way back over there to the A site.
Yeah, and there's also no utility. They used everything they had on that B site, but the read from NiP was disgusting, so they had 4 players there to slow this down. Now Get Right's going to be in the site with an AK-47. Use the sound. They've now spotted him out, though. That's a little bit troubling. Fugly's going to know he's in the site. Forklift is so difficult, but he wins that fight anyways. Peter can't find it. One in the site, but the bomb is down in Forklift as well. Get Right playing hero here, and he gets a second one as well. 3 total in the round for him, and Legia with 5 HP. Nothing he can do. Time runs out, and NiP do it. They pull out the magic they're so well known for. Even Legia getting spotted at the end, but NiP, a lifeline is extended to them.
And with that, now they have a very quick chance to get back into this game themselves. NRG, with Legia being able to save, they could try to force into this one, and it appears that that is going to be the case. The AK actually gets tossed from Peter over to Gabi, so it's going to get tossed to someone else, it looks like, here in a moment, too. So Gabi picking up the armor behind it, however, everybody buying up. Tabson is going to be the one that is wielding the AK bought by Peter, and the rest are just going to go for their upgraded pistols here, seeing if they can make an upset happen again and restore the lead that they got there with the pistol.
It's going to be a tough task. I mean, this is very similar. I mean, it's basically a mirror match of that first half. You know, this round that Forrest had the lone AK-47, and he had to do so much. So Tabson said it a couple times. He was the best performing player in the North American Pro League in terms of, you know, ADR and just efficiency. And there it is. He finds Get Right. No one, miscommunication from NiP. No one's watching for that boost over, and Get Right might be a little bit frustrated with that. Obviously, not even considering it as a possibility, he had to have thought that he had someone there. And then Legia's already out A main. He's not going to be able to get any kill. There's Freiberg with one. Gabi does salvage it, but the B bomb site is open. It's going to have to be a retake. It's a 3-on-3. There's no kits on the NiP side as well.
Flushing their way inside here now. And we do see NiP quickly rotating back in, but at the moment it's only Forest here. They're going to be able to put Exist back over here. Actually, they're letting Forest get very far out, so if Fugly over peaks and tries to check for like CT main, he's going to have a big advantage. Drops down, he almost had that kill, but Peter holds with just a deagle. Picks up that one, and now he's got a rifle. Here comes Gabi on the counter flank too. Shuts down Exist, and Makalele can't do anything to stop it. Peter with his newly equipped rifle shuts out Makalele. Trade for trade for trade, and now NRG have the lead once again.
Yeah, NRG, I mean, this is so surprising. Not just, I mean, just their winning is surprising, but the fashion in which they're doing it. They're